I still gotta get logged in anyway, so it's all good.
All right, welcome everyone. We are rejoining the party of Heroes Wanted. As you guys all know, last session was a little bittersweet as we parted ways with Nicholas and Einjamin Shalemorn, and they traveled back to Caledonia in order to deal with some business they had going on there. So now the party consists of Elwyn, the elven soldier in exile, and Soggy, his kobold companion, and Donovan, a vampire hunting human who has joined the party because he knows of a vampire that they too are kind of dealing with, although they all know that at this point it would be straight up suicide to go and confront them directly. So they're kind of laying the groundwork for a confrontation with this vampire. And as Donovan has integrated himself slowly into the party, he has grown to trust Elwyn slightly just due to his skill and, obvious desire to stamp out evil such as the vampire that they are hunting. And hopefully that will help him to trust as Neris, a elf who is kind of more of an infiltrator, a spy, if you will. Although the elven ranks don't really have a word that means the same thing as spy, the way that we think of a spy. For the elves, it's sort of like an honorary position that combines a scout and a assassin and a you know straight up spy as far as like getting information and all of that. So uh basically, oh yeah, don't worry, I'll let you know about that. It hasn't attuned to you yet, so just we'll deal with that. um but Neris was Elwyn's his troops scout, for lack of a better word. The elves, have words that perfectly describe all of the positions and mean things in their language, but to say it in English in human is, all you can do is approximate. So, for lack of a better word, Neris was the scout for Elwyn's group of soldiers. And when Elwyn's party got completely wiped out and Elwyn was blamed and banished, Neris was actually the only one who had seen and knows that Elwyn did everything that he could and was honorable, but there was a reason that he could not defend his friend, and that's a secret that he keeps even now. But he has come and sought Elwyn out because Neris has dealt with the corruption in the elven hierarchy for too long and now wants to rejoin his friend Elwyn and aid him in eventually returning home. And so, Neris, you have tracked Elwyn down to a human village far to the south on the southern coast. Um, they're in New Eglia, and they're in a town called Lakeshore on the shores of a giant lake, sort of like the Great Lakes in the real world. And this town has been suffering from a lot of things, but you are very new in the area, and the only thing you know is that you have to disguise your elven nature in order to be able to pass through the human lands. Otherwise, you could be accosted or even worse, killed because the humans are distrustful of the elves ever since you guys enslaved them a couple thousand years ago.
All right then.
And so Donovan, Elwin, and Soggy, who isn't here yet, Soggy is tired. So Elwin and Donovan, you guys make it back to the old mill, but instantly, Donovan, you stop and point out to Elwin that somebody has been investigating around the old mill. You can see tracks that don't belong to you, to your group.
I think someone's been here.
I'd say so as well. We should probably approach a little quieter than what we usually do.
And then Neris, you would be in the old mill already as they enter, so you can just kind of be however you feel you would be. Would you just be like, waiting for them right inside, or would you be further inside already setting up, your stuff? Or, I mean, Elwin, and you know that he's here, and you know that you can trust him and that you will be, joining up with him. So you would feel comfortable enough to do that if you wanted to, but also if you want to just be, waiting at the door or waiting just inside or whatever, you can decide how your character would do that.
I'd probably just wait like towards the door if I knew he was coming and I trusted him.
All right. So as you guys approach cautiously, you see a figure standing in the doorway, and Elwin, roll for perception.
Okay. Perception. I need to set my eyes.
You instantly recognize the cloak that this man is wearing as one of the scout cloaks, and peering closer at his face, you see a face that you have not seen in many years, and in all your travels you never thought you would see again. But here is one of your close friends, one of your comrades, brothers in arms, that you fought side by side with against all manner of foul beasts and, orcs and whatnot that are a constant danger in the elven lands where you come from. And so seeing him is a mixture of shock and awe.
Neris, what are you doing here?
I'm here to meet up with you. Come to help.
To help, and what brought this about?
I can't. I saw you being shunned and turned away, and I just couldn't live without knowing that to get you back.
It's, given the circumstances, it's very unlikely I'll be able to ever return. I've come to accept that, as much as it pains me to not be there.
I just can't live with myself knowing that I didn't try. I'm not the one to sit down and die.
I understand. Well, if you're here to help, then we certainly have some work to do here in this town that we're in currently.
And then, so just that Neris, the elves, even though they are very haughty and aloof and view the other races as kind of sub-elven and therefore should be subservient to them and, all of that, they are still very much protectors of the world and do-gooders who, look to stamp out evil wherever it is. And certainly the vampires and other things that these guys have been dealing with would be considered abominations that need to be dealt with all of your elven might.
Okay.
But before we even do that, I feel you should probably meet my two companions that I have here. Uh, Gesturing to Soggy. This is Soggy. He is
I'm
a
having.
he is a kobold that I had the pleasure of saving, and he has been a good help as we've gone through our mission. And this here is Donovan, a little bit on the gruff side, but he is trustworthy and wants to see our mission complete currently.
Trustworthy and capable, and those are the two qualities that matter most in a companion.
Nice to meet both of you. I'm Neris.
You say you know this guy?
Yes, he was our scout, if you will, for the squad I was in back in my homeland. I would trust him with my life.
And indeed, that is a very true statement.
I'd go up and shake Donovan's hand.
I don't shake it.
Like I said, very gruff person. You learn to get used to it.
We'll see.
But anyway, we should probably let you know what our current goals are here.
Do you need a refresher on that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just sort of staggering my words out, is all it was. Because I was going to notify Neris what's going on, the character.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just, out of character wanted to know if you needed a refresher or not, but if you got it, go right ahead.
Basically, what's been going on here, we've encountered a bit of an interesting situation regarding the lord of this town. We've come to suspect he is very likely a vampire, and a powerful one at that. He's planning something from what we can tell. He's got all the blacksmiths in town under his employ. It's causing a lot of issues with regards to that industry. Like a lot of that is the prices here for some things are just obscene, and there's a lot of influx of people as well from the surrounding areas. The food supply is very meager. We don't really have a good way of remedying that aside from taking down the current lord. And then there's also the matter of crime going on around here. There's a couple of companions that we've had depart us from our company have had experienced crime in this area that's and everything. It's just been very rampant. We don't really have a good solution for that either. It's Then there's the matter of we just got back from some elven ruins from a great city. that we have yet to finish exploring yet as well. Those are mainly just to see if exploring those would be mainly to see if there's anything that could possibly aid us against the vampire. But that's basically what's been going down here.
Very
What
good
did you?
summation, yes.
I see. You go from a soldier to a vampire hunter.
Not exactly the goal, but it appears to be as what would have happened.
Anyway, I'm here to help in whatever way is necessary.
That is much appreciated.
Now that I've caught you here, where were you on your way to?
We were actually coming back here to rest up for a bit, and then I believe the plan was to see about returning to the ruins unless plans have changed. I'm gonna look to Donovan as I say that.
I think we came and went back to the ruins already. No.
Well, okay, so you guys had spotted the ruins and not explored them. Then you went to the ruins, but before you could explore all of the ruins, you had gotten kind of beat up and were looking for a long rest, and the session was ending, and it was time for Nicholas and Einjamin to depart. So we came back here for you guys to rest and to give Nicholas and Einjamin their door of egress. And so now you guys are here, but you have not completed that area if you wanted to go back.
I was just sort of posing it as a question to see if we wanted to do that or see about trying to do something else or not. You know.
And just DM note, you guys are free to pursue whatever plot hooks you want. You can always let me know, especially like in between sessions, I would appreciate it if you let me know, but that you want to travel to a different town or a different place, or, just you're no longer interested in pursuing the plot lines here. You know,
Uh, did I miss anything?
a little, but
Naris's
we'll
introduction, but
catch you up.
yeah, you'll get
It,
caught up.
it's not a lot.
I'm sorry if I'm dead.
It's okay, Hazard.
You're okay.
Just
Oh,
listen to what's going on, and you'll get caught up fast. Oh, turn on your push to talk, please.
right. I'm on my phone. So let me see if audio.
I know because I use my phone as well. You can hit. There's like a little button down when you go into the actual chat and look at like all the names listed there. You can hit
Hey,
like a mute
is
mic button and everything, and you can just turn that on and off at will.
but I found the push to talk.
Okay,
Huh.
good. All right, so anyway, just to give you a real brief synopsis and then just listen along and you'll get caught up real fast. Neris is an elf who knows Elwyn from before. He has come and met up with you guys. He's going to be joining you. Elwyn and Donovan are discussing with Neris the various problems that you've been having here in Lakeshore and kind of going over whether or not you guys wish to return to the Elven ruins or pursue a different plot hook. That's a little bit of meta, language for it just to make it easier for everybody to understand. But obviously, you guys would look at it as you're discussing strategies and plans moving forward.
So,
Okay.
what do they think of Soggy? Have they met Soggy?
I introduced you, but since you weren't here, then we weren't really able to get good introductions. So if you want to
Yeah, I
see
just
about
told them
actually
that
officially,
Soggy was Having and you were introduced as a kobold companion of Elwyn's.
yeah.
As you kind of like, you notice a figure kind of like just hunched behind the plot of wood, and kind of like as he slowly reveals himself, you see a purplish sort of, He's sort of purple, like the sea of like a sea like deep wine with speckles of white all over him. He also wears a hood, very ragged, with patchworks of the royal clothes he has found once in a cave. What's you don't he's like any other old kobold, but you have a feeling he's just so out of place between just a vampire hunter and another elf. And Soggy just kind of like peeps and says, "Hello, how are you?"
I'm good. I'm Neris.
Anyway,
What?
Soggy, sorry, was I cutting you off?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear what Naris said.
I just said
Hmm.
I just said hey, I'm Neris.
Hello, Naris. He has a habit of mispronouncing things, except Elwyn.
Soggy, what is your opinion on what we should proceed about doing? Do you feel we should go back into those ruins or see about trying to go elsewhere and see to put our efforts?
The thought of
The
going back to the water both fills you with excitement and a slight feeling of dread as you once again recall the scene from your vision.
uh, um, it is difficult, but if we are to fight off vampires, methinks that think that we should go back, since to find more powerful weapons, like the shiny sword. And I point to like uh, the vampire hunter's blade.
And again, it's just the hilt as Donovan has not been able to get the sword to activate for him. So it's just a shiny golden hilt of a very fancy sword.
Yeah, I figured much, but still, he just mentions that.
Did you?
Anyways, Soggy kind of like agrees that we should head back to the ruins.
Owen's gonna turn back to Donovan and Neris. How do you guys feel on what we should do?
I'm down for anything.
Yeah, I mean, as the
Just
new
clear out
player,
those
you gotta
ruins.
you got to give
Yeah,
Neris a little bit of a break. He's not gonna, really have a whole lot of opinion on this because he doesn't have anything to go off of.
it was just sort of felt like the polite thing to do at least, though.
I understand. I'm just trying to like
Yeah, I get it.
play devil's advocate for him, and let you guys know that like don't take it too harshly if he doesn't have anything to contribute at this point because he's just like, yeah, whatever the adventure is, let's go do that.
Yeah. And you, Donovan?
The last ruins we were in, we learned something about this vampire. The more we learn, the more powerful against it will become. I think we should go back to those ruins and finish it.
All right. So we'll take a rest for the night and then see about heading back there in the morning. Does that sound like a plan to everyone?
Yeah.
And
Soggy agrees.
All right, so I gave everyone a long rest. If
I'm
anybody,
gonna restock my arrows.
yeah, I was just gonna say, if anybody wants to restock their quivers, now's the time.
I gotta remember that.
Also, don't forget to subtract a ration for each day that you guys rest.
Should probably go into town and buy some more rations.
Otherwise,
Quick.
otherwise you guys are gonna start to suffer from exhaustion.
Yeah. What time of day would it be when we got back to the mill?
You guys would have gotten back roughly late afternoon and had a little bit of time to, do some stuff before you went to bed, and then whenever you wake up in the morning, you guys can decide what you do for the next day. So for now, assume that you have roughly 8 hours of downtime to do whatever you want with, plus the 8 hours of rest.
All right, because Elwin needs to head into town real quick to see about getting some rations, actually.
Okay, so as you are in town, I want you to roll a perception check.
Uh, does that include me?
Did you go along with Elwin, or did Elwin specifically tell you to stay home to avoid drawing attention?
I joined Elwin. I'm usually like hiding behind him, so I'm kind of like working like his shadow.
I figure I could
I
probably hide
follow
him under
like
my cloak.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for perception, Elwin and Soggy.
Could you roll for me, Dungeon Master, because I'm not at my
Yeah, I can
computer?
I can see that you're not logged in.
Yeah. Uh, just
Oh wait, that's disadvantage because this will be during the day.
Well, if he's hiding under my cloak, would that still count as bright light for him?
Well, the rest of the area would be bright light. So it's
That's a valid point.
you
That's
know
a valid point.
it's kind of like, yeah, you could be standing in the dark, but if you're looking out into bright light, it's still bright light.
Yeah, it actually seems brighter than what
Yeah,
it actually is.
yeah, so it's that whole effect of waking up in the middle of the night and you go and you turn the bathroom light on, like even if you're not in the light, it's still going to be bright as hell.
Yeah, I
So
get you.
anyway, Soggy, you cannot see anything through the glaring sun. However, Elwin, your elvish low light vision perfectly shows you that there are several guards that have taken note of you and went and ran off towards the barracks.
We need to hurry, Soggy.
well, okay. Uh, what happened?
I think we're about ready to have some guards come down on top of us.
Oh, Soggy does not like this. Let us hurry.
All right, so
That's
there's a line of people lined up to get the rations. The rations that are on sale are half rotten apples and some dried fish, smoked fish, and that's like all there is. And so you guys see that the line, like it's totally Beetlejuice, where like you unroll your number and it goes all the way to the floor. So
right.
you guys
So,
you guys are in a hurry and it's a long line.
Soggy, I'd much rather just prefer to just see about going out hunting, if anything. How about we sneak our way out of this place?
Soggy does know some places to fish.
That would work fine. But I say we get out of the city while we can.
Yes, yes. No need for metalmen to come.
Agreed. So,
All right, so you guys are going to try to be stealthy as you
yeah.
exit the city. So go ahead and each of you roll for stealth.
Ouch. That's not good.
What's going on, Elwin? Without Nicholas to impress, you're just like slacking off.
And what was my role?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
we're just we're just making jokes on Elvin's expense.
Yeah, sorry. I was having fun. Forgot that I had to roll for you. Oh, so neither of you were very discreet as you left town, and so you're not sure if you were followed or not, but you know that, like, it's certainly possible.
Instead of heading straight to the mill, Elwin's gonna see about heading straight into the woods to see about hunting. Try to throw him off his scent just to be on the safe side by doing it like that.
So it's starting to get pretty dark now, and if you go out hunting in the woods, you're going to be at disadvantage.
Okay, then I probably won't necessarily go hunting, but try to take like a longer
Soggy won't have
roundabout way
trouble
to get
in
to the
the
mill.
in this is since it's not as bright light, right?
Oh, yeah, you with your dark vision can see perfectly well, but you're also not half the hunter that Elwin is. You're a great fisher, but hunting's a different sport.
I
Plus,
understand that.
nighttime wouldn't want to be out with vampires.
Soggy's just trying to find a creek to fish in.
Well, there's a creek right next to the old mill.
So yeah, that's what Elwin's gonna try singing about doing, is taking like a longer
Yep.
route to try to throw off, and maybe even try to cover up his tracks
Well, that's
so
the
often.
the stealth roll, was
Okay,
for
that's part
all
of that. Okay.
all of that, and I
Okay.
I assumed that you would try to not go straight back to the mill, but you weren't able to be as stealthy as you would have hoped. You weren't going full the fugitive.
Right. It was a bit of haste that was added in. That was
Yes,
what caused the stealth
yes,
to be so
exactly.
bad.
Doggy was knocking things over with an.
Yeah, Soggy's tail was sticking out, making it kind of easy for them to follow you.
As Elwin gets back, we should probably take shifts tonight on watch.
So you tell Donovan and Neris about being followed potentially?
Yes. Elwin's not afraid to admit his mistakes if something bad could happen to the group.
Now Neris, as somebody, who takes stealth missions very seriously, this is like a major foul up, and Elwin's almost like a student of yours in a way, not like straight mentor, but like you're kind of like an older brother, older uncle kind of figure to him.
Okay. I'm disappointed in your
Yeah.
disappointed in your stealth.
Uh,
Haste was getting the better of me. Doesn't help to have grown that I've grown slightly sloppy over the time of traveling through these lands.
Soggy is sorry that he tripped over on that he may have smashed a lot of pots back in that town.
Yeah, and Elwin, you're like, my time amongst the humans has made me fat and lazy.
That's pretty much. That's right. That is pretty much what I said. I didn't think about that.
You guys are gonna get us killed.
That's why I'm proposing for us to take watches tonight.
I can take first watch.
What good is a watch going to do?
Ha.
Haha. But
Wow.
crickets.
That one. I don't think that one really slapped there, sir.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I'm very much a Dan Harmon-esque type of person, and having those jokes just completely fall flat is all part of it. So.
It's all part of it. That way, it makes the good ones actually
That's
stand
right.
out a bit more.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right,
You can't have funny without a little, not funny.
All right. So you were saying, Donovan?
So tell me about the terrain here. Obviously, I see that we're in some kind of a lumber mill. I mean, or a grain mill. It's not currently operational.
Yes.
And obviously, there's a river.
Yep.
There's probably some kind of trees and whatnot. We're probably near a forest.
A little.
Um,
Yep. I mean, it
how
doesn't
many
get too
roads?
dense right away, but yeah.
How many roads are leading to us?
Oh, there's really only like one road leading to and from the mill here that travels from the actual town of Lakeshore up the road to the next town to the north. So there's really only one major path, but there is kind of a wide open field to the eastern side of the river that you're by. So the western side of the river kind of turns more into forest, and in the eastern side there's a bit of a clear area for a while. So that's like the most open area.
All
And
right.
Soggy's just trying to fish. What rolls do I have to make?
I will go ahead and make a couple rolls for you while they discuss what they're going to do.
Well, I can make use of my alarms.
That would be handy, setting that up along the main road a little ways out. That way we have a bit of forewarning. What's the range on alarm?
I'm gonna check it now.
Because I know you can be a certain distance away from it.
Unfortunately, I'm more familiar with Alarm from 3.5, and that one I think is like a mile. This one I'm not sure. Fifth edition nerfed a lot of stuff, so
Right.
Range is 30 feet.
You can only be 30 feet away from it?
Yeah, on an area within a 20-foot.
okay, but that's when you cast it though, right? You can move
Oh.
away from it later.
Yeah, after casting it is what I'm trying to get at. That way it's set up and you can be a certain distance away and you'll have
Yeah, and
like
I
it go
thought that
off.
distance was a mile in 3.5, so if it doesn't have it listed in 5th edition for how far you can be, like I would assume about a mile, you know.
I can see about trying to see if I can't find it real quick as well.
I do have to ask a question about the nature of spell components. Like how are we gonna do that with I mean, logically speaking, we got this like we're in a real bad economy, right? And
Yeah.
like people are dying of hunger and there's no food and there's no money and how am I gonna justify pulling out a tiny piece of fine silver wire for this spell?
Yeah, so some of the more expensive spell components can be like multi-use. Some are even like permanent, like it's more of an arcane focus than a spell component that gets completely used up. However, when you're talking about the fine silver wire and everything, like basically how that goes is you have enough fine silver wire whenever you restock on spell components and you go buy fine silver wire, you get enough for 10 castings. And so once you've used that up, you have to go get more silver wire, but you don't have to like, buy 10 silver wires. You buy silver wire and that gives you enough for 10 castings. Same with
No,
most of
that's
the
that's
other
not really
smaller
what I
stuff.
mean. What I mean is like so I'm gonna walk into a store, right, that has like no money and ask them for like a ton of silver to turn into or in wire form.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're definitely gonna like need to find somebody who can like melt some silver down into wire for you or something like that because absolutely finding just silver wire is not something that's going to be readily available.
So as it goes now though, does that mean that I don't have access to the spell components for
No, you have 10 castings worth of all of your spell components right now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put
It says a mile out you can be away from the
Yep,
the
that's what I thought,
wire.
and that's
Yeah,
what I
1
read
mile of
too.
warded area.
Yep.
So yeah, just like a little, just like basically across the path. That
So yeah, I'm gonna
comes
do
this
that.
way, like a mile down the road. That way we have ample opportunity to be aware.
And then for your spell components in your inventory, you just mark down silver wire and put 9 for that. And then all of the rest of your spell components, you just enter in what it is and 10.
And how does that work with a spell pouch, component pouch?
That's where you hold all of your spell components. Or are you talking about the spell component pouch that has like the generic spell dust that allows you to just use
Yes.
that? Yeah. So when it comes down to that, the spell component has as many uses as it has that can replace any of those spell components. Like it's all of the lesser spell components, I believe. Um, so if you have a spell component pouch, then it just has as many uses as it has in there, and you can just replace any of your spell components with some of a pinch of the dust.
All right, that makes sense.
And then
Well, cool. For now, I guess.
refilling that is something that you would know how to do.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and set up that alarm.
Yeah.
Um,
I-
at the place where I think it would be most convenient, I guess. See, I'm not really there, so I guess I'm gonna roll for,
Survival.
well, I guess survival.
Yeah, I'd say survival.
I'd still say we should, because I imagine he's putting it along the road. I think.
Yeah, he's
And-
basically gonna put it where you guys would most likely have somebody approach from, which would be
Yeah.
from Lakeshore, going up the road. And so
Woohoo!
yeah,
Nat 20.
you find a appropriate spot to place your alarm, and as you are doing so, you see the kobold stripped completely out of his clothing and just diving into the water and coming up with a large trout over and over again. He just keeps on catching these trout that are swimming upstream, and soon he comes back with a basket full of fish as big around as he is, and he's balancing it on his head and comes walking up with
Here is fishies.
about 8 fish. And then yeah, go ahead, Soggy.
Here is fishies. Good haul today.
Nice. Good work, Soggy.
I'm
Thank you.
impressed.
I still say we should take watches to watch, like, the woods and everything. Make sure that they don't try any thing to try to get around us.
Well, then I'm taking my rest now. Wake me up in the middle of the night.
I can take
So-
first watch.
Do you go to bed before you eat some fish, Donovan?
Oh yeah, I guess that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I'll eat with these guys, and then I'll hit the sack early so
Technically,
that
we
I.
only really need 2 shifts because trance only takes 4 hours, and long
Oh, go ahead.
and long rest is 8 hours.
Yes.
So between the 2 elves,
So who is going
Yeah,
to
but no one's sneaking up on Donovan.
cook and clean the fish? Or clean and cook them? You guys decide the order.
I'm pretty good with handling meat. It's up to you if you'd like for me to take care of that for you.
Sagi usually eats it raw, but he doesn't mind eating it cooked.
Well, that you have 8 fish and there's 4 of you, so you can take 1 or 2 fish and go eat it however you want.
Sagi kind of like takes his share of 2 fish and kind of like snarfs them down, just like.
You
I'm gonna
guys,
smile at Donovan. Excuse me. I'm gonna smile at Soggy, and I'm gonna say, just sort of a mild smile, nothing too big, but I'm gonna I'm gonna say to him, "You're a fun little guy, you know that."
Soggy is a good fisher. Yes. And he continues eating his
And he's just tearing into it. I mean, there's just fish guts on his chin, and yeah, it's a pretty disgusting scene. But as one of you goes to start scaling and cleaning the fish, you notice that each and every one of them has tooth marks, as Soggy's main method of catching them is rather crocodilian, and he swims up and bites them. And so all of them, I mean, he didn't like take a bite out of them or nothing, but they all just have a bite mark in them.
Oh, they've all been in his mouth.
Yeah, they've all been in his mouth.
It's not like it really matters. You're cooking it anyway.
Free meal.
Yeah, that's true enough.
And
but
so
it does make efficient use to like stuff the herbs into.
yeah, you can infuse them more. So you guys eat. Donovan goes and gets his rest. And as you guys are doing that, go ahead and who's on first watch? Go ahead and roll for perception.
I believe Neris is on first.
Who?
Neris.
Who's on
Merrick.
first?
What's on second?
Yeah, Soggy gets it.
Oh,
Of course, Soggy gets it. He's a little weird and has some sort of trans-dimensional radio signals going on.
Yes, you know that wasn't in character. Just
Of course, of course.
it was meant to be a joke.
So Neris, go ahead and roll perception.
Quick thing out of it says use a role command looking for value of a selected token, but no tokens are selected.
Yep, you got to click on your token, and then perception is the second macro in.
I don't think
Almost
I'm
every
understanding.
so on the map, don't click on your character sheet. On the map, click on your token, the actual character token there for Neris, and then perception will be up on top. There'll be a button that says death save, and then perception, and then initiative. Click on perception. Perfect.
All right. Sorry about
No, it's fine. Everybody takes a session or two to like start to learn all the macros and all that. Oh, also everybody don't forget at the bottom of the chat there is the as. Make sure you select as your character. Okay,
it is
so
very important.
it makes everything look better, yeah. So, Neris, you do not see anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that nobody was there and it was perfectly, safe because you know that you didn't roll very high. But nobody does anything or approaches in any manner that you notice. So, as far as you know, everything's still good.
Alright then.
And then Neris goes and takes his trance, and Elwyn comes out of his trance and takes his shift, I assume.
Yes.
All right, so Elwyn, you go ahead and roll for perception. Oh, no problem.
Ouch!
And again, Elwyn, you do not notice anyone, but because of that roll, you know that somebody could have literally like been all up in your business, and you wouldn't have necessarily have noticed them. So, uh, you
I'm just
know,
distracted by the fact that Neris has returned after so long.
yeah, you're remembering, not just the final battle, but the trial where you were, exiled, and Neris, and how he left halfway through the trial, and like you're at the time you thought that he had abandoned you, but you're looking back at the now and you're noticing, that he had a look on his face like, he was pained, like somehow his hands were tied in some way, and although he's not quite ready to reveal whatever it was, you have a feeling that like there's more to this story than he just abandoned you. And so, you're kind of like remembering everything, but you're also remembering back before that all the times that Neris was there for you. He's a little bit older than you in elven terms, and he's always been, like I said, not quite a full-on mentor, but just sort of like a role model figure that has guided you in some ways and has always been there and looked out for you, and you're remembering your youth as you knew him, and because you come from a very small elven community on the mainland. And so Neris was a high elf. He was somebody who was there from a long time ago, and you are you know like a fresher recruit compared to him. So he's had so much to teach you, and he's always been there for you, and you're just remembering all of that as you're on watch, and you kind of drift into a half a trance, like a waking trance. You're still fully aware, more so than even just being in the elven trance, but you're having visions of like everything that you guys ever did, and it just kind of reconnects you with Neris in a way that you feel as though no time has passed and that nothing wrong has happened between you guys, and you're just so excited to be together with another elf when you thought that was never going to be possible again. And yeah, so you don't know if anybody was there or not, and you guys wake up, Donovan, at the end of your shift, and it is very near sunrise.
All right then.
We are going to Lurens now, correct? As I
That's
kind of,
the
as how he kind of like, he's kind of like walks up to Elwin.
that's the plan, Soggy. As soon as everyone else is ready to go, then we'll see about heading out.
This is good.
Random thing here. I know this is sort of super specific, but can we not throw those fish bones out?
Okay, you can have the fish bones.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, have at 'em.
He's got
Cool.
plans. Do Donovan, Soggy, and Neris need to do anything before we head out to the ruins?
I'm good.
No, lead the way.
Alright then. Off we go! Unless Soggy needs to do something that, because I totally glossed over that. My bad.
You know what? This is going to be another, I guess, kind of specific thing, but on the way to the ruins, and I guess on the way back or whatever, I'm gonna keep my eye out for any large stones. Nothing too big I can't like lift and carry, but it's like some big stones for the forge.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, there's definitely stones.
Well, there that goes. So we're starting back here. Alright, cool.
Well, I mean, it should go faster this time.
That's true enough. Right then. Does anyone have any torches? I imagine it's for Donovan over there. Oh wait, would Donovan have tuned over the course of the
Nope.
day yesterday?
Nope.
Oh, he decided.
No, it's it's
Oh.
he's trying to, but it's not a tuning with him.
Interesting. Well, in that case, Donovan, do you need any? I tell you need some light, don't you?
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Well, I don't have any torches in my inventory.
He doesn't. Soggy doesn't have anything he needs to do before the ruins, so he's just kind of like following.
Neris, do you have any torches?
Real quick, I don't even know where my inventory's at.
It's in your character sheet, and there should be a tab that's literally just inventories where I go to check that sort of thing. But could be part of other things.
Who's gonna carry the torch?
That's what I'm trying to imagine. Elvin could, but that would prohibit him from using his bow.
Yeah,
He
just
has
drop.
a note. I could drop it, yeah. I just have to be sure it's not into the water.
Good point.
But I mean, if you want me to carry it, I will carry it. It's not like I don't have a sword. Ow, bit my tongue. But yeah, because I got a couple scimitars that I can use if need be. Alright then, I guess I'll just carry it.
I'd rather stay up front and scout.
Alright then. Well, for the most part, it should be fairly clear up to a certain point.
So I'm trying to follow along these guys.
Yeah, I have pretty good idea of where we're. Yeah, I remember where we go. Now that, because that thing should still be deactivated, shouldn't it?
Nope.
If it is,
As soon as Donovan and Soggy step into the circle of columns, it reactivates.
I yell peace in Elven.
Yeah, I was about to probably do that myself.
And then it just it's like back down.
Right then. Well, anyway.
That's actually good to know.
It is very handy to know that.
Well, I mean, the obvious is that if we ever have to leave and come back, this thing's going to be active again. I don't know if it'll reactivate.
If we do it right.
I don't know if it'll reactivate if we come back. But knowing that there's a giant colossal golem here.
Well, see, we came here and the first time it activated, we had to figure out how to deactivate it. We know how to do that now. But if we end up needing a place to flee from the guards and everything, we could always come here and just sort of lure them into a trap in a sense. That way the golem destroys them. It could turn into a double-edged sword, mind, but it is something to consider.
Depending on how these ruins are, we might be able to make this our place of operations. This golem would be the best.
Ouch, thanks. Just a random. And it's like a max damage too. That's ouch.
I just wanted to remind you not to mess with the golem.
Well, the plan wasn't to mess with the golem. It was just because if we lured the guards down here, they wouldn't know not to step that close to it. If we did it right.
If you do it right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But anyway, shall we move on?
Soggy just kind of like is still looking over his shoulder to make sure the golem isn't moving at all. Just.
No, it's
not
just
like-
chilling.
He just doesn't like the stone man.
You two coming over there?
Soggy is coming. Soggy is coming. And he falls behind.
Soggy
Jim's
takes
just having some fun over there.
70 damage.
My goodness! That's too much damage.
He'd be like paste.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, that's like high-fiving him into the ground.
Pretty much.
Ugh, that is just. Ugh.
Okay, so Elwin, now you're getting into the part of the water where you need to swim.
Yeah.
And
I
although
need
I'm
to
not
roll,
going to
like,
make you
something.
guys make
yeah.
athletics checks in order to just swim, because like it's just swimming, in order to hold the torch above water while swimming, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that requires an athletics, is what you said, right?
Yep.
Okay.
What?
11. Man, my
So
rolls today.
so you're kind of getting the torch a little bit wet. Like you can tell that like if you continue to roll this poorly that it's going to go out. You haven't like completely doused it, but you got it a little wet.
That is valid point right there. I don't know what's with my rolls tonight. It's because I'm just nervous with Neris here. That's all. That's what I'm gonna chalk it up to.
Yep. Yep. You remember trying to impress him as a youth, and it's just all coming back to you. Luckily, Elwin seems to remember the way.
I actually do remember the way. Because we went.
Show me the way.
Show you the way. Let me show you the way, my brother. Donovan coming? Before he gets left behind?
I have to enlarge my screen.
Alright, I was just making sure we didn't leave you behind. That way you weren't gonna get lost there.
Enhance.
Man, I need to get me some dark vision.
Yeah, it's a handy thing to have. Don't know why. It's just pretty handy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a very effective vampire hunter.
All right, roll
So-
for
completely lost in
perception.
Soggy would disagree.
What'd you say roll for?
Considering that he's
Perception.
that he,
Just Owen.
Good roll. Giant frog.
That should have been something we rolled in game. So yeah, I guess you say like, yeah, Donovan, are you coming? And I'll probably say something like, since I have a charisma score of 5, hold your damn horses, I can't see in the damn.
You have a charisma of 5? Ouch. That is
Yeah, that's why I didn't shake your hand.
that's very gruff. A lot more gruff than I was anticipating.
Like I'm
Compared to
almost
Soggy,
obligated to
he's-
not greet you.
Elwin, you spot a giant frog right as it's about to leap out at Soggy.
Soggy.
ah! frog, and he kind of like swims away from it, just like no, 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 no,
Well,
no,
we're
no,
rolling
no,
initiative
and
right
kind of like,
now.
oh, we're rolling initiative.
Yeah, against the frog.
Oh, and you have paid the ultimate price for having the DM roll for you.
You actually roll less than the frog,
Uh-oh.
unfortunately.
It's the DM's curse. You should never have him roll for you.
I'm sorry. I'm currently in. I'm currently trying to walk up to my computer. So
It's okay. It's an old standing joke that anytime I roll for everybody, I roll real poorly.
That is very true. We're currently walking through this water because that's what you said last time. Is we're
Yes,
going through
this
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 area.
is the 5 foot water, so it's difficult
Yeah.
terrain, so you can only move half of your speed.
Uh-huh.
And it's on you, Donovan.
One second. I'm
Donovan's-
sorry. I just can't see anything.
That's because you're all the way back.
Yeah, you just have to.
No, I have to mess with my screen.
Oh, okay.
save Soggy from Big Frog.
You sound like
nope.
you're in a cave.
Nope. You can't move that far. It's difficult terrain.
Oh, my apologies. Yeah.
So
So I guess I'll.
15 feet per movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Either so. I just get to about here, I suppose.
Yeah, with a double move. Yeah.
Get him out to the... Well, since I'm holding the torch, that means I can't afford to drop it in this water. So I'm gonna move my max distance to right there, and technically it reads. I think that reads 5 foot, but I don't. I think
No, you have
you
to
have to be
be
like right. Yeah,
you
I was
have
about
to
to
be
say.
right next to them. Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought that was something that was discussed before. So yeah. So that means I'm just going to wait right there and have one of my scimitars out and just hold action for if the frog moves closer. Is what I'm gonna do.
So Neris, if you left click and hold down your token, you can then right click and it'll give you a handy little measurement for being able to move 15 feet. And then you can decide what you want to do if you have line of sight or, oh wait, you don't have a ranged weapon. So you can move 30 feet then with a dash and decide what you're going to do for next round.
I think I'm going to stealth for my bonus action.
Oh, okay. So then click on your token and then up above you'll see uh, cunning action. Why does it not appear? Wow. Hold on.
Starting to lose your touch there, DM. You're getting overwhelmed by the presence of Daenerys too, aren't you?
I guess so. Okay. Well, I will make sure cunning action gets added for next time. For now, you just declare that you're using stealth, and so you can roll for stealth. That you actually do need to go to your character sheet for.
Okay.
It'll be under the skills tab if you didn't know.
That's not right.
Well, dang. That's an impressive stealth roll.
What's the command for it? Slash roll.
It's just the button right next to stealth.
Yeah, there's like a little D20 sort of looking button. It's like stealth is like second from the bottom. It's like second column.
Perfect.
Wow. Just clear on around.
What did you roll?
For my stealth or for what the frog's doing?
Yeah, the frog.
The frog.
The frog got a 20 versus your armor class.
I already rolled minnow damage.
But now he has you grappled.
Oh dear.
Would you like
And
to
now it's
attempt
your
to
turn.
escape the grapple?
Yes, I would. I said yes, I would.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, he's probably having to switch through a few different sheets.
Ooh.
I'm almost
you
at the
just
computer.
make it out. You just escape the frog's mouth before it can swallow you.
Soggy is not frog food.
Evidently, he thought based off your size you were.
And how does the frog react?
Oh, the
Like,
frog reacts
do I
like it
hear
wants
him?
to bite you again.
It wants food.
That's how the frog reacts. Do you do anything else with your turn then, Soggy?
Soggy's going to shoot an Eldritch Blast.
That's an action. Your action was used escape.
Okay, just Soggy's going to hide behind Elwyn.
Okay. So in order to use the cunning, is it cunning action? No, it's not cunning action. In order to hide or anything that would be an action as well, you used your action to escape, so you have a move action, but if you move out of the frog's threatened area, it's going to take an attack of opportunity on you.
Well, that sucks. Any suggestions of what I should do?
You basically can try to move over to the side to give Elwyn a flanking bonus if he were to engage with his scimitars.
Yeah, that's what I do.
There you go.
And now I'm back at home and ready to.
Excellent.
Donovan.
How do I check my distance again?
So you click on your token, hold it down with the left click like you're dragging it, and then right click, and it will give you your distance as you move. You got to still be holding it down, obviously.
It just starts screwing my screen when I do that.
There's also a tool on the left that I end up using.
Yeah, there's a
There's
ruler
like,
to just kind of measure beforehand.
yeah, it's like a circle with like a ruler in it, and you can just basically just click on your token and just drag it. That's typically what I end up doing. But yeah.
Cool.
You whip at the giant frog, slashing into its soft skin for 5 damage.
Man, he's got rolls like I have with my bow. High attacks, minimum damage. I'm gonna move over here to the frog. And I'm gonna take it with the scimitar since I'm holding a torch with the other hand.
Yep.
Hey, how do I do just 5 damage on that thing?
You rolled a 1.
That'll do it.
That will do it. And that, I don't know if that hits. Let me double check real quick.
Owen's not known for his scimitar work. He can do it, but it's not his preferred method.
That hits.
That hits. Ooh, so I actually got a good damage on that.
Yeah,
Decent
you
enough.
slash into the frog with your scimitar, almost carving it in half.
Juicy. That'll end. I'm almost half tempted to try swinging with the torch, but don't really feel good with
Pulling the
pulling
old
it.
Einjamin.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that because it's like an offhand. I was like thinking about it.
Give him the old Einjamin treatment.
If I were to that, that'd be just like I'd hit the unarmed strike, wouldn't I? Or
For now, you would just roll an arm strike.
Okay. We'll see about this. Hey!
All right, so you end up dealing 5 more damage, and the frog actually is knocked unconscious from the blow.
Bad
Ellen
frog.
Ellen just looks at the torch.
If you couldn't tell, he did not enjoy trying to be lunch to that frog.
No.
Ellen's just busy looking at the torch, just thinking back to when Einjamin was using it. Just like, huh, it actually is effective.
Is it dead?
Well,
It's unconscious currently.
I mean, it's as good as dead, but whatever you guys want to do.
So how big is this thing exactly?
He wants food.
It is roughly the size of like a Great Dane.
Oh, okay, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, we probably won't need all of it, but let's cut off its legs.
Frog legs. Yum.
Oh, Soggy's going to rip out its tongue. Kind of like to try and craft it into a weapon, try and use it as material for future weapon making.
Well, let's kill it first.
Yeah, you don't reach
Yeah.
into an unconscious frog's mouth and try to rip it out. That's not gonna work.
Soggy
Yeah.
is very angry about almost being lunch.
He
If I'm
is
not
very angry
mistaken,
about that.
you're much smaller than it, so I just open its mouth and crawl in like you're just begging to be.
Yeah.
Soggy's just, but first, Soggy just stabs its gut, kind of like make sure it's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So pulling out your dagger, you finish the frog off, and just so that you're aware, I don't care. You can take the tongue all you want. But like as far as a crafting material, other than like for some kind of potion or something like that, a tongue is a muscle that is not going to keep it. So there's no way to like make it into something. Like the best that you could do with muscle is like dry it out and turn it into some kind of weird sculpture type of thing, but it's not going to be effective as like any kind of weapon or material for anything. Like it's a muscle. You can eat it or not.
I think I see what he's going for. If you want to use it, if you want to like an object to use from here, the best thing that we could use is from like sinew or something like stringy that we could
Yeah,
use
you
to
could make
make
like a
bows with. But
bowstring or
at
something
best,
out of sinew, but like really, the frog's skin is not going to make good armor. Its tongue or
So
muscles are for sure not going to be useful for anything other
yeah,
than eating.
yeah. As he just Soggy just frustratedly kind of like chews up the tongue, just rips out the tongue and just chews it frustratedly, just and then throws it away, and then
As you do
then
so,
just
roll a strength check, unskilled strength check.
The imagery of Soggy not succeeding that unskilled strength check and oof,
Oh, okay.
trying to eat the frog's
So
tongue.
as you're eating the sticky frog's tongue, it basically gums your mouth shut and you find it difficult to talk.
like
So,
Soggy
Soggy,
kind
you
of
can't.
points to get help in removing this frog tongue from his mouth.
He can open a slight bit, right?
Yeah, I mean he can breathe and everything.
Well, that means he could theoretically put his mouth under the water and just let.
Would that fix things?
Is that what you do?
Yeah,
Because I'm
Soggy.
figuring I'll probably loosen it up, sort of like how you would with peanut butter.
As you put your head under the water, you slowly go into a trance-like state, and as your eyes roll back into your head, you get a clear vision of everybody under the water again. And
And does that? But
and
does the tongue get unstuck?
eventually your mouth is unstuck.
And then I kind of like suddenly rise my head out of the water and just like, Soggy had another
Okay.
vision.
Did it have anything to do with the previous one, or
Saw everyone drowned.
all right then?
how
So
well
we
do I
should
do
just
in
we go forward.
How well do you do what?
cutting off them legs?
Yeah, you do just fine. You butcher the frog up real nice.
Real nice. All right.
And Soggy just collects the sinew for future use.
That's a different task entirely.
Yeah, that would require another roll. Actually, I'd prefer
And time.
a medicine check to be able to do that.
Okay, just Soggy attempts to collect the sinew. That's what I meant to say.
Nice.
What does the 22 get me?
It gets you some of the sinew. So you guys are passing by the temple where you encountered the ghost.
I mean, there was one path through the temple, I believe.
Yeah, the one Soggy found and squeezed through.
Oh wait, okay, I see where we're at now. Okay, so the temple is back this way.
And the
Okay.
body of the and where's the body of the snake? The one we cut up?
Well,
It's
I
probably
mean,
still there, but he just
yeah,
removed the token for.
yeah, it's right outside here.
So. Alright.
The refuse from it, anyway.
Yeah, just floating around.
And there's some crabs kind of eating at it, but nothing, nothing that you need to worry
Yeah,
about.
just doing some continuity.
This is about where we left off.
Yep.
Neris, if you wouldn't mind scouting ahead.
I can do that.
So as you guys move ahead, are you going into the temple or are you going further north?
Into the temple's this way, ain't it? Or
This way, where Donovan is.
okay, I thought
That's the
that's where we
entrance
came
to
from because
No,
I didn't think there was another route through here.
No, yeah, that's the entrance to the temple over here where Donovan is.
Okay.
I assume we're going north.
Well, which way do we want to go, guys?
I haven't been here before.
Well, Sagi's saying this way, so
Soggy kind of points over to like the place we haven't been before, kind of like forward north. Soggy says, "Not much back there, just a lot of crabs and ghosts."
So yeah, you guys, are moving through. It's kind of deep. It's like 5 feet, but you walk through. It's difficult terrain. You come across the beach, but you know that you gotta, continue to move further on if you're gonna continue to explore.
I believe we're heading this way. Neris, if you're gonna be scouting ahead.
Yep. And then so as you guys come ahead, you find yourselves in a huge underwater complex that it's about 5 feet deep all throughout here, but it gets a little bit deeper in spots, and you can't really see where that is. Um, and as you guys are moving through here, you see a huge columned row leading up to a massive gate. The gate seems battered and bashed, but continues to be locked and held firmly in place. There's a set of chains wrapped around it that glow softly in the torchlight, letting you know that it is a fine metal like platinum or silver or maybe even mithril.
Well,
It's a boss battle. Everyone get out. Nah, I'm joking.
Neris, do you see anything around here of any concern?
Roll perception.
Soggy thinks Soggy thinks lock could be good for weaponry.
Possibly, but
I agree.
right now I'm more concerned if there's danger lurking in the shadows around here.
I'm gonna go up farther to the left over here and try to just kind of stay off the main path and see what I can see.
Soggy's also gonna make a perception.
Yeah, so just roll for perception, anyone who's looking.
Well, Neris got a 21 on his.
Okay. So you guys notice that the gate appears to have claw marks in it and has been bashed with something extremely heavy.
I'd like to investigate it.
That was insight.
Whoops.
Like something big from the other side, not our side, or from
Yes,
our side?
from the other side.
Okay.
So are there any like claws that are in it? Do I notice as any like hair or blood or
Nope.
anything?
No, nothing like that.
Does
Best
this look
guess
like it was
is
done by an animal?
It looks like something that was done by a monster.
So what did you find? Soggy kind of like walks. Soggy walks over,
Oh,
kind of like
and your investigation reveals that there's some kind of carving on the chains, like a little symbol on each one of the links.
do
Is
they look familiar? Do I make a roll of some kind?
I was about to ask that myself if they seemed familiar since this.
They are elven markings that are magical in nature, so you would need to roll a Arcana check to know what you know.
Okay. It's a good thing I'm proficient in that. 12. Of course. Of course.
Soggy rolled a 13.
Yes, but you are unfamiliar with this particular language of magic with the elven markings. So, uh, Elwin, the only thing that you know is that these are like some kind of ward.
My best guess would be they're trying, at the elves that used to live here, we're trying to keep something in. I don't know if we would necessarily want to go in there, because maybe it's dead and gone, maybe it's not. I don't.
how big are the dents in this thing? Could Soggy slip?
Yeah, Soggy could swim through there.
Soggy's going to make a stealth check before he gets in there.
Okay.
So that whatever might be in there doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Can Neris fit in through those holes?
You would have to squeeze, and you would have to make a acrobatics or athletics
Soggy
check.
rolled an 18.
Yeah, I can see. So if you make your athletics or acrobatics check, you would make it through, but otherwise you might get stuck in the bars.
If it's a tight fit, it probably won't do it.
Yeah. Soggy, Soggy's hidden, right?
Well, you're underwater and swimming through a gate, so no.
You're trying to just do it quietly. It's more
Yeah.
what it is.
Kind of like stealthily.
Stealthy as you can be while swimming through water.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm
Mm.
trying to say is like you're not exactly hidden by any means.
Yeah,
You're
but
just quiet.
stealthy. Yeah.
Stealthy, right. You're trying to be
Yeah,
quiet.
that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, so you are you swimming forward? You see a large hole in the ground.
Ooh. I'm going to make a perception check to see if there's anything here.
You see tiny bubbles.
Coming from where?
In your wine. No, it's coming from the giant hole in the ground.
Oh, something living is there, he thinks to himself. And he kind of like, and kind of like goes back to the gate and tells Elwyn what he saw.
it would seem that whatever beast it is still alive down there. So, like I said, I don't know if we want to go through this gate or not.
Was there any other way around?
I mean, there's always back through the temple, see if there's another route through there. But if not, then we'll end up having to go through here to get to the rest of the ruins.
There is only hole I see.
So it's up to you guys if we want to go through this now, or if we want to see about looking for another route around. We can do that.
Soggy is kind of indifferent of what to choose because he knows either path could be dangerous.
I'm new to this party. I won't be making the decision.
That's fine. Donovan, your
I
opinion
think we
is
should go the up. I think we should either go the other way or.
you got quiet for a few moments there. You think we should what?
I think we should turn back and go the other way.
Okay. Then I guess that is what we'll do. If we don't find another route around, then we know we'll never need to go through this gate.
Soggy will wait around. Soggy will be waiting. Will take patrol over this and wait.
You're staying at the gate?
Soggy doesn't know Soggy thinks that if Soggy can wait here, things Soggy could possibly find something.
That's really what you want to do.
Plus, Soggy is not attacked by ghosts here. No ghost appears so far.
No, but that previous ghost might reappear. Who's to say what might happen?
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
We're gonna head back to the temple and see if there's another route through to see if there's a way around. I believe Sahi said he was gonna stay there and see if he can't find nothing. Find anything. Okay.
As Donovan enters the temple, he hears a booming voice.
All right, what's up? What do I?
Soggy is
hear-
still back at.
Unclean ones, you shall never defile this sacred place. And a ghost materializes in front of you.
Damn
Yes.
it!
Can I try and voice the ghost?
Try and what?
Voice
Voice
the
the
ghost.
ghost.
Oh, no, I got it.
Sorry, I have the need to try a more dramatic voice, like, Defilers! You shall not live to corrupt this land!
And then Neris, roll for initiative by clicking on your token. Yep. And Donovan.
Darn it, Donovan. Always just ahead of me. Always.
So you guys are surprised as the ghost appears in front of you. Oh, no. Hold on. You don't get an action this first round.
Oh, whoops! It's his turn.
If only.
Okay, and now you whip the ghost by stepping back. So wait, if you're stepping out of his range, then he gets an attack of opportunity on you.
Well, no, I'm just gonna hit him with my club.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want to hit him with your hand axe brand mace? Oh,
Well, I mean,
that is what you
mace.
meant by club, yeah.
I forgot about that joke. Hand axe by me. Oh no, it's mace by hand axe, ain't it?
Yeah, mace by hand axe. The trusted name in maces. If it's not a hand axe, it's not a mace.
uh,
So you swing at the ghost and you actually make contact with its spectral form, but your damage seems to be negligible.
got something. Nope. I'll be able to get up there. Well, I'm gonna run and then dash over
Yep, remember
to here.
difficult terrain, yep.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I can't get over there. And then I'm actually going to action surge and drop the torch right here on dry ground so I can fire my bow. Now, I'm having to fire. Naris is giving it, what, half cover, right? Or something like that? From the
Uh,
angle I'm at? Or.
because of the pillars, the
Right, I just realized that
the
as
only
well.
angle that you're gonna have is going to be cover from Neris. So yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay. See if this hits. Wow, I'm rolling like garbage today.
Yeah, so you do not strike the ghost, and there is a chance that you struck Neris.
I'm rolling like garbage today, guys. I'm sorry.
You
Elwin
did.
is not on his game.
You did not strike Neris.
Well, yeah, it's going to be my turn. Oh.
Alright, so then I can then attack with
We
advantage because of
yeah,
Yes.
Donovan.
Yes.
yeah, just flanking. I believe advantage gives sneak attack, don't it?
Yeah, but he also has it because Donovan is standing next to him. No advantage needed.
Oh, that's right too. That's right. Advantage just makes it a little easier to try to hit that crit.
My buttons just.
You can't crit the undead.
It's true.
There we go.
That's true. I'll give you that one.
So do I hit
Still.
sneak attack button or do I hit just a
No,
rapier?
you just hit whatever you're attacking with your rapier, and then you'll have to click on the ghost after you select normal or advantage. Yeah, there you go. You got it. So you do not strike the ghost.
Yeah, this thing has a decently high AC.
And then I guess I'll swing with my other short sword.
Well, it's also incorporeal.
That
Correct.
doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't help nothing.
Just means
Like my-
that it's resistant to all of your damage.
I
That's
get
true.
advantage with both swings, correct?
Yes, but you're only going to deal half your damage with the second one.
Ow.
Oh, you used your short sword, not your rapier?
Well, I have rapier in one hand and a short sword in the other.
So you got to click with the rapier for the first attack, and oh, I see. Why does it say short sword? That's weird.
Yeah, it like went backwards.
That's really weird.
I'm into HEMA, and that's really funny to me because a short sword is just a small.
Yeah.
That is kind of funny. Where is Nicholas when you need him? Oh, that's right, back in Caledonia.
Yep.
Or
Unfortunately.
at least on his way there.
Yeah.
Oh man, isn't it funny how D&D games work out that way? The paladin in the group. All right, guys, good luck with that vampire.
Yeah, no.
Salutes and
Yeah.
Any chance of him ever coming back?
I mean,
this thing is flanked, right? Do I get an advantage?
yes.
Assuming he doesn't move.
All right, there. Your rapier and short sword are working now.
Hold on for 2 seconds.
Woo!
It's the ghost turn, isn't it?
Oh, cool.
You have a tendency to attack on the ghost's turn.
He sees a ghost and he knows who his target is.
He's like, I gotta start moving ahead of time. He's got a naturally induced haste spell in him, just attacks ahead of time.
Neris, you take 20 necrotic damage as the ghost slices into you with its ethereal sword.
Ow.
That sounds painful.
Yep.
Donovan, you smash into the ghost with your mace, but again, the damage seems minimal.
I'm gonna take a 5-foot step back. Fuck you.
So there is no 5-foot step in 5th edition.
Okay.
So you can't, like, you'd have to take the disengage action to avoid the attack of opportunity.
Right then. I'm gonna move over to here. And then fire at the ghost from this angle.
Actually, it was called loosing an arrow, not firing, before the invention of gunpowder.
Fine. I'll loose my arrow.
Yeah.
You happy now?
Loosen.
It's just loose, really.
Yeah, it's just loose. You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
I don't imagine that 13 hits.
I am double
That's from
checking, but
Futurama.
I don't think it does. That is from Futurama, correct?
There's not enough incredibly ancients like wizards who send ragtag incompetent people out on missions in
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we're very incompetent right now. You're the only competent one at fighting this ghost.
So you hit, and it deals minimal damage.
Sounds
the only
legit.
one who'd be able and yeah, even Sagi would be throwing like negative energy at it, so it's like none of us are. We are very ill-equipped to deal with incorporeal.
Well,
I mean,
Soggy doesn't deal negative energy. He has lightning and cold as his two main eldritch blast energy types, and then he has cold or lightning with the tentacle attack, and witch bolt, I believe, is also lightning.
yeah.
Yeah, he'd be the only one of us here that would be
I,
capable of dealing damage to this creature.
I can
Like, as
technically
of
deal
right,
force damage, but I can only do that twice, and it would hurt both of y'all.
yeah.
That's why I haven't done it. I have done it before where I've damaged people, but
But that was only
those days,
Nicholas.
yeah, that was only Nicholas, and that was because he was on to me and everything.
He
You all
has
know my
no
secret.
desire to kill Neris.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think Neris needs that 20 health removed off his.
Yeah, I think I'm doing it right. I have to do it myself.
Oh, yeah. You click on your token, and then the red bar, you just click -20, enter. There you go. And then Elwin, is that
definitely
your
do that.
turn?
Yeah, that's my turn, right there. I thought I forgot to hit end as soon as it was confirmed that the arrow hit.
Is disengage a
It's an action, yeah.
It can be a cunning action, can't
It
it?
can be a cunning action.
That means you can only tag with one of your swords.
Sorry if Soggy didn't come with you. It's just the kind of like I was trying to act in character.
Yeah, it's all fine. It's all good. We'll figure it out.
so I'd be able to do disengage as a bonus action.
Yes.
Yes. Ouch. I feel that on a personal level. We're all rolling like crap tonight. I say we this is out of character. I say we back the crap out of this fight, and
Yeah, I'm gonna disengage. How many far is?
Disengage allows you to move up to your speed.
Man, we need a paladin.
I wonder where ours went. Oh yeah, that was right. He went back to Caledonia. Or even a cleric. That would be nice too. Cleric would be better.
Oh, that's a wall. Yeah.
Whoa.
And then once you're in the water, it's difficult terrain, so it's double movement cost after that. Go ahead and take your attack of opportunity, Donovan.
Is it moving? Oh, I guess it.
Oh,
Oh crap.
we may just have a paladin.
Oh, it's
Ha.
attempting to possess you. You gotta make that DC 13 charisma. Now the saving throws, that's on the core stats page.
You nail the ghost with your crossbow as it moves away. I'm going to allow that just because it's cool. And hit it for 11 piercing and 3 extra damage from it being your, the thing.
Favorite enemy.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to think of all the stuff I have to cover quick. So it actually deals pretty good damage, although you can tell nowhere near what it should have been as you nailed this sucker right in the heart.
So I need to do charisma.
How
Yes,
far is he?
Charisma save.
charisma save.
Yeah.
How far is he? Like 20, 25 feet, something like that. Maybe 17.5. 17.5.
So unless you got a movement speed of 35, you're not getting there.
Nah.
Fortunately.
Well, I have
Where's the saves at? I see everything else.
It's under the core stats.
Yeah, core. So just
Like-
dexter or charisma, and then it just says save right there or whatever. You just roll that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, nards. We haven't had to deal with this yet.
Okay, so now you are possessed by the ghost.
oh great. Oh man. So what do I? Okay. I'm gonna whip for a trip attempt.
Tripping him up, sort of attack. We give it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so if you don't want to deal damage, just roll your regular whip attack, and then if it succeeds, we'll go with a trip attempt. Okay, so now go ahead
Whoops.
and roll your what would it be? Athletics. And Neris, you would roll acrobatics or athletics, whichever is higher for you.
Well, fortunately, Donovan is as. Oh damn.
Hot dang. Yeah.
So
That.
Neris just effortlessly spins out of the whip, and it's just lying limp on the floor, a perfect symbol for the effectiveness of the attack.
Well. Alan's gonna actually drop his bow before running forward in an attempt to just sort of like almost bear hug restrain him. Which I imagine that would take an athletics against
Yes.
him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, my athletics is not the best, but
And then once again, athletics or acrobatics, Neris?
yeah.
Yep. He just effortlessly puts his arms out and does a swim maneuver, allowing you to just pass right by, not even getting a grapple on him.
Well, that's gonna end my turn right there.
All right, so Neris, you're possessed, so I will be taking your turn for you.
Okay.
So dexterous.
Honestly, I'm
That actually misses by just barely, because my AC is 15.
So what happens? He's still possessed.
Yes.
Yeah, he's still possessed.
I'm gonna go for a tackle.
We're just trying everything we can to restrain him.
Why not? My highest stat. Screw me.
Oh man.
And then
Thinking.
again, Neris. Yep.
Yeah, he's got that consistently high dex over there. He's just casually just pulling off some elf crap.
Yep. He's got that elven wrestling down pat. Two-time national champion.
I'm actually going to try something a little different this time. I'm gonna pull out both my scimitars and then try to strike with the flat of the blade. That way, it's not
Okay,
going to
so you're
deal
attempting
damage.
to deal non-lethal damage. Yep.
Yes, and I'm gonna use both my scimitars. So Of course, it's only a 12.
Does not hit.
Like I said, scimitars are not my thing. Oh, check it! Oh wait, that was... Why did I hit on... Hit unarmed strike when because I could have sworn I hit... Yeah, it says offhand scimitar down there.
Oh.
Guess it just reads wrong.
Yeah, my bad. But
It's all good.
yeah, so roll 2d6
2d6. Okay.
plus 4.
6.
All right, so you deal 10 damage and you knock him out, and the ghost takes over after he's unconscious, and so now he's unconscious, but you can talk to the ghost who's still trapped inside him.
Well, I'm sorry, Neris. But I'm not really too sure what to say to a ghost. The power of Christ compels you, be gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What binds you to this place, ghost?
I am here as a protector to keep the unclean from this holy temple.
What do you define as unclean?
The evil in your heart. And he looks specifically at Donovan.
I'm not evil.
What makes you say he has evil in his heart?
The things, the lengths he is willing to go to make him less than pure.
And what if I were to act as sort of a temper for him to and everything? Try to restrain those lengths.
I understand what it's talking about. There's nothing you're going to do to convince that thing to let me pass.
And actually, Donovan, at this moment, there is a split in your mind, and this is a chance for you as a player to decide your character can either stay how you have him, and that's fine. You know, he doubles down on his convictions basically, or he can have kind of like an epiphany moment and realize that like maybe he is too close, you know, has stared into the abyss too long and needs to like kind of pull back from the edge. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you an opportunity at this moment as this thing says it to you. It's kind of like a clarity moment where you get to decide, are you correct in your convictions or does this ghost have a point?
I'm not sure really what you mean. Like, are you saying like my love of violence to vampires is essentially what's keeping me out?
Not just your love of violence to like the vampires and the undead and all of that, but like, so your character has been so cold and distant from everybody and everything that like you don't really treat people so much better than the undead that you hunt. Like, uh, I don't know. Have you ever watched Supernatural?
Not really.
Okay, well, let's see. Maybe like Punisher. Like it's like
Well,
it's
the other
like
thing that makes that kind of difficult is as far as my background goes, I'm a folk hero.
Right, right. No. It's just okay. So, like Batman. Batman's a folk hero, but like I would struggle to call him good in certain iterations of how he, is willing to like break a few fingers and all of that. And I'm not saying that you're quite to that level, as much as like
Because the only thing that I can think of is my character's, so he's not evil at all, but there was that time where a little boy died as a result of my actions. So and became a vampire. So I'm under the impersonation that this thing is like, yeah, you suck, go to hell. Um, you care about killing things too much, and you're too,
Yeah, no,
sided in that way.
exactly. Like I figured your character was so focused on everything that he had kind of lost sight of his own humanity almost, and like the connection with other people. That's what I'm going off of.
I understand.
And then so like this is a moment where your character either like starts to reconnect and like you become more like the Batman from the Batman animated series where you're like taking on a sidekick and reconnecting with humanity more, or you become more like Batman from like the Dark Knight kind of thing where it's like I work alone.
Well, you could always go Flashpoint Batman too.
Oh yeah, good one.
Murder everyone with the gun that killed my son.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to respond to that, to be honest.
I don't use guns except for these giant machine guns on my car.
To be honest, I mean, I'd have been a lot nicer if I didn't have that 5 in charisma. I just don't know how to roleplay not having the 5. So it's like, he's got a 5 in charisma, so he's kind of a dick. What do I do
Right,
with?
right. But I'm just kind of using this as like a character development thing to where like after the boy died and you blamed yourself, you became very cold and distant from people. And this is just a chance to either like start to work the arc back towards trusting and loving and all of that, or to like double down on it and be like, no, having friends only causes pain. It only gets people hurt.
Like, keep in mind as well, like, back to that Batman analogy. In comics, Bruce is sort of depicted as being a bit hard.
Damn it,
and
guys!
everything.
I know I had the voice.
No.
I was never trying to be Batman.
No.
No, I'm not comparing you to Batman. I'm just trying to give an explanation on things.
Yeah, just more of an analogy more than an actual.
It wasn't meant to be an actual comparison to you. But yeah, like Bruce in the comics, he's depicted as very hard and everything, and he comes off kind of gruff, but you know on the inside that he's a good person and everything, and he's
right.
just trying his best.
Right. So like that's basically what I'm saying is, do you want to be the kind of gruff where like everybody can tell that you have a heart of gold, or do you want to be the kind of gruff where nobody really knows if you're really good or not because that's how almost cold you are?
Because I thought you were like a neutral character almost, like this whole time.
Right.
Well, I am.
I
I'm
imagine
neutral good.
He meant neutral though.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Like you're willing to put me down in a second if I do something that's like against your convictions.
Well, my character is already like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's everything that I'm kind of getting at here is that like you are far more willing to slit someone's throat than what would be considered.
No. I'm sorry. So that would be like true neutral, or even chaotic neutral. But
Yeah.
I am neutral good. So my character is just like scarred emotionally. Like he's not like he already kind of is. That's hence the folk hero part. It was also why I was so stringent on like trying to get food to people in town with the crabs and all that.
That's a
Right.
valid point. I
Right.
forgot about that there for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's what tempers things
like
out.
let's
Like he's not so
kind of
neutral that
go
everybody else can starve.
let's kind of go with, instead of the ghost, waking something up in you like that, let's go with, you need to convince the ghost of your goodness. And so either you need to roll diplomacy against the ghost here, or persuasion, or you need to let the ghost possess you.
I think I'm gonna have to let the ghost possess me then.
Yeah.
All right, so
He's
you tell the ghost, "My heart is pure. If you don't believe me, look inside for yourself."
pure hatred for vampires.
Yeah, unbridled rage. So, you allow the ghost to enter you, and as you do, there's kind of a melding. And Neris, when you wake up, you will have felt this as well. Uh, you see the ghost, and the ghost sees you, and you see that this ghost was a high priest in the temple of the elves here, and he didn't worship any one elven god. He was a protector of all of the elven gods, and he basically became a wraith in order to protect this temple. And so now forever he just stays here and guards the holy relics here. And so you guys can tell that this is a good ghost, although, like, it's still a ghost. And
Then, in
go
my
ahead.
inability to speak, I would like to share with him, who I am, what happened to my family, and what my
Yeah, so he sees all of that, and you kind of, like, take him on a highlighted tour of, like, certain things. You make sure that he sees those things. And so um he sees that you are, good. And so he shows you and Neris, you're still connected enough to where you also see that behind the altar that he keeps appearing in front of, I'm sorry that there's not a thing on the map, but there's an altar there. And that behind that is a secret compartment, and inside it are holy relics.
sweet.
fancy.
I will, I guess, I don't know, thank the ghost or priest in my own way. Um, and yeah, I guess I'm doing this without speaking because this is more of like a spiritual thing,
Yeah,
mental thing.
yeah, this is all happening in both of your minds.
So yeah, I'll say, I'll tell him also thank you, and thank you for not killing my friends and I, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to rid the evil of our land.
And the ghost kind of looks at you with a forlorn look on its skeletal face as it fades into nothingness again. And then as you guys open up the secret area, you find a chest. The chest is made out of pure mithril and wood, and the wood is some kind of white wood that Elwyn and Neris would recognize as elven birch. It's a pure white wood, and it's very rare, and it's like mahogany for elves. And and
Agony for elves.
yeah, and so you recognize instantly that the box in and of itself is worth a small fortune, and it's locked.
So
Well, I would.
am I like
Yeah.
awake now?
Yeah, you're awake now.
For
Do you
the
want me to
record,
pick it?
that'd be recommended. And by the way, there's apologies for slapping you upside the head with the swords.
You did what you had to do. I would have done the same in your powers in your shoe.
Right.
How didn't you drown?
The ghost saved me.
Well, yeah, I would imagine that you guys pulled him up on shore after you tackled him.
No, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I'm messing around.
Elwin's gonna go a little ways down this way before just whistling for, giving like a signal to Soggy in a form of whistles, just to
Well,
let him know.
we're gonna deal with Soggy as soon as we deal with the
Okay.
chest here. So you're gonna roll
Alright.
to open the chest.
Should I check for traps?
Yeah, that might be recommended.
How do I check for traps?
You roll investigate.
Investigation.
You don't
Well.
find any traps.
So then
Alright.
just these tools for to pick it?
Yep. And as you go to pick the lock, roll a Constitution save.
Great.
That's the disadvantage of not rolling the best on your investigation.
All right, so you realize that the lock itself has a poison that seeps out when you put anything into the lock, and so it ran down, the oily substance ran down your thieves' tools and poisoned your fingers from touching it, and you begin to get very sleepy. This is not sleep magic or anything that normally elves would be immune to. This is a poison that can knock anyone out, and you begin to get very, very tired and fall asleep on top of the box. You wake up about an hour later and you feel as though you were on a major bender the night before. You are now exhausted and need to, get some rest.
You alright
You
there,
finally
Norris?
awake?
Finally. But how long was I out?
Hour, roughly. Couldn't wake you.
And so now Soggy, we'll get back to you guys and what happens there. But Soggy, you're in the lair area here yet. So what do you do?
I kind of like check up on Neris and say like, Soggy.
Oh no.
It's
Well, they're doing the ghost battle. You were here. So what are you doing while they're
yeah,
doing that?
just kind of like just look, just waiting around, kind of like diligently, kind of like looking around, checking for any threats.
Okay,
Did you?
but you don't go back through the gate or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
since I've already seen what's beyond the gate, I'm kind of just like waiting.
Well, I mean, it's just a hole. You could go investigate that more.
He's not investigating without the whole group.
Okay. So you're just kind of waiting here, and everything seems fine. So you guys now have dealt with everything, and um, Neris is asleep, and so you go and whistle for Soggy. Soggy, you rejoin them. Um, anything else?
Soggy looks at kind of notice Naris and Mr. Naris, you look terrible.
I feel terrible.
He's
Oh.
been on a bit of a. He was. The lock he tried picking was poisoned, unfortunately. He should be fine with a little rest.
Don't put anything in the lock.
I mean, I would attempt to use my bursting arrow to bust the lock off, but I feel like that would damage the box as well.
Did I open it though, or did it just get me to put me to sleep before I opened it?
Yeah, no, it put you to sleep before you could get it open.
How sturdy does the lock look?
Like magical sturdy.
Okay, so that means I couldn't take my sword to try and knock it off like that.
So,
Is
so
it
they
big?
brought the chest here? Did they bring the chest in here?
No, we just came in here to check on you. It's been like an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
The chest is like a steamer trunk too, by the way.
Yeah,
So super hard.
I figured as much. Like, so you want Soggy to help with it?
Not necessarily help with it, like. I mean, at the cost of the chest, I could get the lock off, but.
Is there any
that-
way for us to get it out of here without opening it or putting us all to sleep?
I say we figure out what's in the bottom of this here hole.
Some sort
Soggy
of
agreed.
monster.
It is a strange hole.
I'm not feeling very good right now.
It'd probably do for another
And
rest up top. Or even back in that temple, because that seems pretty safe now that we've dealt with the ghost properly.
I'm down for that.
And I mean, we wouldn't have to worry about
Soggy
guards.
Soggy decides to follow suit into that temple so we can rest there. And kind of like he also will take a look at that steamer trunk.
You think I can slip through this gate?
He said that if you did, if it's small enough, like you can try, but you have to.
You have to roll like an acrobatics to get through. And if you fail, then you have a potential to get stuck. Oh,
All right, so you guys all get a rest.
would there be any way to? Oh,
Can Soggy help out with the with trying to open the?
I was getting ready to ask if there's any way we could get the poison out of, or try to coax the poison out of the lock before we try picking it, because you said it was just inside the lock was where the poison was, right?
Maybe I can do another. See if I can.
It's a
Find a way
magical
around.
lock.
Oh, that's why. Duh, Steven.
I could try again and see if I can find a way around it.
I mean, you can try, but if all else fails, like I said, I could always blow the thing to smithereens.
So now that you know that it's poisoned, you can use your thieves' tools to try to disable the poison trap, but it's a magical trap, so it's going to be very hard.
I think Donovan tried squeezing through that gate.
Can Soggy assist in any way?
And so you squeeze through the gate, Donovan,
Yeah.
and you see a giant hole.
Can I see how deep it goes?
Well, you don't really have a light, and any light that you would have would not shine down far enough to show you how deep it goes.
That's a deep hole.
Yes.
See anything over there?
No, I'd like to, but there's just nothing over there.
Do you want me to try to disable this lock or the trap?
You if you feel you're up to it.
I'll try.
Are there any markings on the trunk?
Not like markings, more like just
Well,
filigree.
engravings or
Just filigree, just design.
okay.
Nice. To disable, he's disabling that trap first, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you managed to notice that the trap is set up to where it will poison anybody who inserts anything other than a key. Fortunately for you, your thieves' tools contains an elven skeleton key, an elventon key, if you will,
Elven.
and
Gosh, that is. That
and
is.
and
I don't know how to react to that.
yeah, that's the appropriate reaction. And so you insert your elven skeleton key and open the lock, and inside you find several elvish magical accoutrements. One is a suit of chainmail, elven in nature and obviously magical. Another,
What are those?
what?
What kind of weapons are those?
Chainmail?
Oh,
It was a chainmail.
I think he's talking about accoutrement. He just means various items,
Yeah.
basically.
And you also find an elven longbow designed for an elven arcane archer battle mage, basically somebody who would launch spells from their bow into the midst of battle. This particular make is carved from the pure white elven birch and inscribed with runes that glow when picked up by an elf. Um, there is also a cloak and a set of um, artisans' tools for crafting and making things. All of these are made from fine elven, materials and craftsmanship, to where all of them seem very delicate yet sturdy, fancy but functional, and obviously all very, very expensive.
Do we have anyone that can use the bow?
Yeah, I'm the arcane archer.
Wow. I disregard everything I said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out them artisan tools. What kind of tools?
It's basically like a hammer and a sculpting tool for shaping, and a couple of other tools used for forging and shaping metal.
I'll take that.
I'll look at the chainmail.
So for
Is it
now, it appears to be a suit of mithril chainmail. All of these items are going to require attunement in order to unlock their secrets.
Quite right. Well,
I'll just take them with me. I'm not gonna do anything with them.
unless we want to investigate that hole further, I say we've discovered what was meant to be what we could find here in these ruins.
Agreed.
So, is there anything of that could be used by Saw?
I believe
There
he
is
mentioned
a
a cloak.
set of chainmail, a bow, a cloak, and a set of artisan's tools for crafting.
He takes the cloak, of course.
The cloak is a full-sized cloak, so it stretches out like a uh, wedding gown train behind you.
Where at least it covers Soggy's tail.
I kind of like that aesthetic though for Soggy. It sort of seemed fitting for him to
Yeah,
have something
it
long like
does.
All of you are out of your minds.
that.
You just pick up magic items inside of a cavern you've never seen.
Anything any what are the qualities of my of the cloak I just
He said we don't know until we attune.
Which I'm just trying to figure out what the game plan is by this point. If we're planning to go investigate that hole further, or if we're wanting to get out of here, basically.
Soggy thinks we should investigate horror. Soggy has spell that could help us traverse down.
If you feel if the rest of if the other two want to, then I suppose that's what we'll do.
I'm down
Leave
if
no
you guys want
stone
to.
unturned. Might as well.
All right then.
Guess we're all gonna go down the hole.
Elwin's gonna wield his new bow despite not being attuned to it yet.
Okay.
Soggy is going to store his cloak for now, since he's not attuned.
They're all
Oh, before we move forward, I just wanted to ask real quick. That chest, you said something about it. I didn't get the whole thing about it. I know you said it was made of like really cool, like elven wood and mithril.
Yeah.
Is the chest moving?
It's a big steamer trunk, so it's movable, but it's huge. It's unwieldy.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I
We
mean,
can probably try to do it when we leave.
yeah. If we really want it, we can. Well, there's a bit of a swimming section through that to get out. That's the issue.
We'd have
Like-
to have 2 people or 3 of us to try to.
Try to swim it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's wood, so it might float.
I mean, maybe. I don't exactly know how dense elven birch is.
I don't know either.
It would more than likely sink, but
Probably.
Well, mithril I know is pretty. I know mithril is light.
It's not about weight, it's about density.
By the
That's true
buoyancy.
too.
Would we know as elves if how dense if would it float?
You know that elven birch floats, but you can tell that this probably isn't going to be a very like easy thing to float.
I imagine if you're planning to use it and everything, it's gonna be difficult to get out of here. If you just want it for like the monetary value, I imagine we could attempt to dismantle it and then get monetary
really,
value
I
out of
just
that.
want to use it for parts.
You just want to use it for parts? It'll probably be easier just to take it apart. Attempt to take it apart on our way out then.
True. I do have some tools with me.
All right.
Either way, let's. The
Let's
hole.
Yeah. Well. Who's wanting to? I almost want to blow the lock off with the bursting arrow, but at the same time I don't, because I have a feeling that whatever
Well,
creature is in that hole.
what was
We'll
up with
hear
that
that
key you
blast.
just had?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's got like the elven, the elven skeleton key or whatever the abbreviated version of it was. I can't remember how to pronounce it now.
Elventon.
Elventon.
I can try to open it. And pick the lock.
I'd suggest looking it over for another one of those poison
More
traps.
traps.
Yeah.
Alright.
So that'd be investigation. Yep. All right, you don't see any traps. You see that it's locked with a large padlock. The chains, it has some of the same symbols on both the lock and the bar, and so you insert your skeleton key and turn it, and all of the runes light up and fade away off of the chain and the lock, and the whole thing falls to pieces on the ground, and the gate is now open.
Whatever was locked is behind this is not locked anymore. So
Yes, we'll have to be aware of that. Which means if it's a creature that is very dangerous, we'll need to kill it to ensure it doesn't get out of this place. So
Well, that's what the golem's for.
it might not activate on this thing, but that's a valid point. Shall we move forward and see what this hole is about?
I'm gonna pick the lock up and put it in my inventory.
It's in two pieces, the bar and the lock.
Yeah, you said it was like some nice mithril, right?
It appears to be some kind of metal. You can't tell because it's covered completely in algae from being underwater.
Sure, I'll just take whatever it is. Need the
The
metal.
hoarder Donovan. He needs a bag of holding.
Are you gonna move
Yeah, you
up
know.
and join them, Neris?
yes,
And wedding rings, frog legs, crab, even whatever.
Ellen's gonna attempt to peer down the hole a bit.
Soggy's going to try and cast Destroy Water to see if he can empty the hole a bit. So
As
That's a lot of
Elwyn
water.
as Elwyn peers down the hole, so you get up to the edge. You roll for perception.
I had a few good rolls tonight. And
You
that's
do
it.
not notice as air bubbles start to rise more rapidly, and at the last second you see two giant shapes pop out of the hole. These
Crocodile!
these crocodiles look off. Their mouths have longer, sharper teeth than you remember, and they have frills that look almost like the horns of a dragon coming off of the back of their heads.
Well,
So we're booking it, right?
it won't. We can't afford to let these things escape these ruins. Otherwise, it will wreak havoc on the town.
Good point.
I imagine since it's about 11 o'clock Eastern time, this is probably where we're gonna leave off, ain't it?
Yeah, so we can either leave off here or we can quick do the fight. These are just crocodiles that have dragon-like
let's-
features, so it's not
Let's just
the big fight.
let's
Okay.
do the quick fight.
Okay.
I accidentally hit it twice.
Oh, okay, so
18 was first.
yep, you
For
get
his.
your 18.
Yeah, I
Oh
was like,
snap! I'm actually
crocodiles.
going ahead of Donovan. That's a new one. My initiative rolls have been actually pretty decent tonight, though.
Yep,
Okay.
and you guys are not surprised this time. Like I said, you noticed it at the last second, but you weren't able to notice it in time to do anything other than just be prepared.
Okay. I'm gonna move a few steps back before. I'm gonna attempt to enfeebling arrow this upper one with this one right here.
Okay, but because you didn't disengage, it actually gets.
Oh, wow!
Oh
I didn't
wait,
realize I had that kind of range of attack because
nope,
I was
never mind.
I was
It
like
doesn't.
right
It
here.
doesn't have a tail slap. You're good.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, okay, I should be fine at that range.
My 3.5 crocodiles have tail slaps, but apparently 5th edition crocs don't.
So yeah, the crocodile needs to make a DC 11 con save.
Boo. Boo on you. Get back here and get
I
slapped
know.
by my tail.
I know. I'm sorry. So yeah, hopefully it'll be another repeat of that, like the turtle incident.
You said con, right?
Yeah, con with a DC 11. I need to increase my. Oh yes, that means its damage is halved until my next turn.
Yep. And it takes the full 12 damage.
That feels good. Wow, that thing. These things take massive damage.
You're like, what?
Don't
We're
have a whole
not
lot.
running from these things. Murder them.
Murder them. I was thinking they had a little bit more health based off this. I guess it's just because the bars scaled with their size of the
Yeah.
tokens.
Yeah. They don't actually come with any extra hit points just because the bar's a little longer.
Yeah, it was just sort of logic from playing video games, I guess.
Nope,
Yeah.
unfortunately, these things are just the same lame crocodiles you guys have been fighting for a while.
Well, dang. These things are going to die.
Saki hasn't fought alligator.
Really? I thought you got to fight one.
No, only frogs.
Oh. So you actually hit the crocodile, but the arrow bounces off of its thick scales.
Well,
All right.
he's moving right up against you. It's like, hey, buddy.
It wants to get some personal time with Donovan.
Apparently.
So obviously that misses as Donovan avoids the crocodile's slow, cumbersome attack.
That crocodile's wanting to get up close and personal with me, huh?
Yep.
That actually hits, but it only deals 2 damage because of the
Yep, it's got that necrotic damage rocking. Enfeeblement.
I thought it was gonna have the potential at least to deal more damage.
Ooh, who dropped
Per
the
bite.
torch? There we go. I'll take care of that.
Alright. Am I also grappled since it did hit?
Oh, if it hit, then yes, you are grappled.
Okay. Figured I'd ask that for my next turn.
Would I be able to make it to the other side of the?
That's a hole over there, so you'd be swimming.
Yeah, you'd have to swim. I mean, you
That
can
was
do it.
my-
You don't have to roll, but you know.
Has this? They both Crocs have already went, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Nearest.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do not hit.
He's good at avoiding damage currently, just not necessarily dealing it.
Yeah, I don't think I've done really. I think I've done like 2 damage now.
It's alright. It's first session. It happens.
Yeah. It's first session slump.
Don't worry, my first session here, I was not doing the greatest either. It seemed to be an elf thing, I think.
That is racist.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And then is that your turn?
Oh, I thought I hit it. Sorry.
Nope, nope, you did not hit it. Oh, you meant the button. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Soggy, you do not have disadvantage due to the light, and you have advantage due to all of your allies standing by them and it being in dim light or darkness. So you have advantage on any attack roll you make.
Hey, what happened to my torch?
It got dropped in the water. Is somebody holding a torch?
I threw it down by the gate.
Yeah,
That
that's
was my.
underwater.
Okay.
See, all your attacks are at disadvantage unless you decide to strike up another torch. We gotta get you something that just. We gotta get you like a lantern or a glowing rock or something.
Get
Put
him
it on your
that
chest.
LASIK. Get him that elven LASIK.
Yeah. Saw you there.
We can't hear you if you're talking, Soggy.
I'm not talking.
Well, it's your turn.
Yes, but I'm
You're just
going to
thinking.
cast an Eldritch Blast on the Kraken. And since it's and since it's and since it's grouped up by a friend, it's at advantage, right?
Yeah, as I was saying, you have advantage from it being in dim light or darkness, and you have advantage from your friends being by it. So any attack roll you make is with advantage.
Of course. And I cast Eldritch Bolt.
On which one?
The one with the least health.
And
Okay.
you hit it for 8 force damage, knocking the crocodile unconscious.
Nice. That means it drops its grapple on me.
No touch Elwind.
So, as it's lying there unconscious, I'm going to draw another arrow, and I'm gonna chance. I'm gonna fire another enfeebling arrow at the croc. That 25 should hit.
It does. And the
That's a
crocodile
yeah,
takes 14 damage.
and that's got that con save. Three for three with that DC 11 con save. That's gonna end Elvin's turn right there. Oh, that's disheartening.
Yep, so swinging in the darkness and the water, you miss. Well, you hit the crocodile, but it bounces off their hard hide. And then
I
whip.
didn't get. I forgot about the. I didn't roll for disadvantage on.
Yeah. Also, because the whip is a reach weapon, you need to be 5 feet back to effectively use it. So you would have had disadvantage from that as well. So we're just gonna say that you missed with your whip as well.
Sure.
Luckily, the crocodiles aren't doing any better.
The DM is fighting to stay alive.
Yeah, why doesn't it say crocodile? What?
I think I've noticed it always says that regarding like death saves whenever you're taking over a character as well. But it is what it is. Nice. See, now he's gonna start. I hope he's gonna have like an Elwyn sort of thing going on where he's gonna hit all the time and hopefully get better damage.
Yeah, and so as you stab the crocodile right in the neck, it dies. Well, it's dying.
I mean, you could technically stab it while it's down.
Yeah,
Just
and
make sure it
so
dies.
now combat ends and you guys have these two unconscious and dying crocodiles. But before you can deal with them, you see a huge bubble rise up from out of the hole, and suddenly
Oh no.
a figure bursts into the air, leaping out of the water like a dolphin, and instead of landing back in the water, it hovers in the air momentarily. It is a huge half dragon crocodile, and
Oh
it
no.
is it is going to mess you up in 1 week.
Oof.
Crap.
Raxor. That's an interesting name.
Oh gosh darn it. I should
So,
have saved
Cool.
that second enfeebling arrow.
yeah, so you guys can strategize throughout the week. I suggest that you do. This is not going to be easy no matter what you decide to do because, as you know, you have rough terrain in order to try and make an escape, and this half dragon, half crocodile can both fly clumsily at 20 feet or swim like a crocodile. So, you know, you're not exactly going to be able to outrun it. So,